Hello, and welcome to Neverwinter Nights, and this should be part 8, if I'm not mistaken. We have finally entered the prison in the Peninsula District, and in last part we also leveled up to level 6, getting access to improved knockdown, which is going to be extremely beneficial, and in that regard you can argue that starting with the high level character is probably going to be a bit cheesy, because you cannot gain the experience to get hold of that ability for this area, and there are certain fights in this area where this ability potentially could be slightly broken. But then again, it is what it is. Monks in general are slightly broken. So let's loot what we can loot before we move onwards. It's locked. Okie dokie. Flurry of blows.
That's it for you! Take that!
I forgot that part. We gain an extra attack because, of course, in the olden days, extra attacks were defined by levels. White light. Whatever. Depending on the class, you would either get one extra attack every other round at level 7 or 8, depending on class. Also repeat, sorry. But in 3rd edition onwards, it's based on base attack bonus. And once your base attack bonus hits a certain level, you'll get an extra attack, reducing the attack bonus to +1. And that's why you will see there's 2 attacks, +7 and +4. So it will be 3 lower. So once again, once your base attack bonus hits 8, it will split yet again. I'm fairly sure it's 4, 8, 12, whatever. Anyway, but because of Flurry of Blows, if you activate that, you can see our to hit drops by 2 for both attacks, but we get a bonus attack, and that is the price you pay for using Flurry of Blows. But getting the extra attack is usually beneficial. So I'll just do a quick save, because those can easily be trapped. Locked and locked. Technically could bash them, but it's not worth it, because we will need to crit in order to do damage to the chest. So let's just move. I forgot that room over there, didn't I? That's where we came in from, so I didn't forget it. Sorry about the noise in the background. I have to record these during the day, and my bird is active during the day, so I hope you will tolerate it. Which way do I want to go first? I think I want to go this way, I tell you. Oh, triggered a trap. Could you open, please? Thank you very much. No enemies in here. I'm surprised. A heavy crossbow +1. Very well. I'll take it. I don't trust a chest not to be trapped. I'm sorry. Minor glove of invulnerability. Bookshelf. Prison storeroom key. Prison logbook. Yeah. Do I need to take that one? I don't know. I'll take it. It doesn't matter. I'll just put it in. Yeah. Try to keep them somewhat separate. Layer blows and bash the chest. Oh, by the way, when you use special attacks in a fight, they will use the next attack's attack modifier. Push of floor is basically an identifier. My point being that you need to have some sort of knowledge of how many attacks you've gotten, what attack you are reaching before you use a special ability if you want to have the maximum bonus from the attack. Anyway, let's see if Lino got something to say. He leveled up, so just a second. Sorry, my bird was getting into specifically on noisy spree, and I didn't necessarily want that to be recorded. Anyway, tell me more about your story. Appreciate that you waited patiently to hear more of my story. I think we have gone through enough together to warrant a deeper level of trust. Just ask that you don't make fun of me. She had an item stolen from her. And, of course, that item just happened to be a... hang on. Sorry, the bird's still going bonkers. You will find it, Lino, if we work together. Oh, cast for life, please. I should not. Okay, sorry. I got momentarily distracted by the bird. She has lost a statue thing that we promised her to try and help find. And once we find the statue for her, which I know exactly where it is, she will give her henchman item to us as thanks for getting her back in the good books, because basically she trusted someone who stole a sacred item from a temple, and while it wasn't necessarily said to her directly that she had to recover it, she feels compelled to recover it in order to redeem herself, because she's been looking like a clown. Basically. She is a bit clumsy, but she's got an adorable personality. So I find her very likable. And of course the fact she's a cleric. That is where we would end up, by the way, if we walked into the main door, which we got the key for. Go. Hiding behind the door, are we? You know what? You'll do. Oh, you fighting? Oh, him. Oh. Sometimes there's a bit late spawn of enemies. So can't reach him, unfortunately. So thankfully Lino took care of him. Gold pieces. No, not yet.
What can I do for you?
Got stuff to loot. I should probably make sure that my healing is adequate. The healing skill, I've defended it, and how I will prove of why I've been defending it. 33 hit points. It is back up to 4. Yeah, that would have required 6, maybe 7 potions of cure light wounds. That is why I defend the healing skill. Trapdoor. It didn't save versus this now.
I'll carve you
I'm sure you will. Bolts. By the way, if you know a chest is trapped, you could go in and just bash it. But you have a chance of triggering the trap, so it is something you can do, but it's not necessarily recommended. Restoration. Everyone and their mother can use restoration scrolls, which of course is meant to restore negative status effects like level drains and things like that. So, this chest could be trapped. Let's see. Let's just try it. He's going to complain a lot about not being able to.
Can't even make a scratch. Can't even make a scratch.
It's not entirely true. A crit should bypass the damage reduction. Maybe not. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Maybe the damage reduction is 15. It could be. Anyway, regardless, doesn't matter. I think these chests has +4 or something in order to bypass the damage reduction.
Oh, curve!
Come on. Loots, always nice. There was one more. More money. Chest of doors. Locked. Apparently we can't do that. That must be valuable then. What about this chest? 1 gold piece. This lever here will unlock all the prison cells here. And there will be a room right here doing the same thing for the cells. You know what, we can showcase something. I hate doing it as such, because it's basically wasted money, but these are the acid damage, yep. Oh, versus good. Only versus good. Something tells me that unidentified. It might actually be enough. Let's find out. It's just quick saved, so doesn't matter. Depends on how lucky I am with the damage rolls. The unit, of course, will absorb any physical damage, but because the cold damage of the shurikens is magical, it will bypass the damage reduction. That's what I was concerned about, yep. 1d4s, you know what? Let's just leave it. It's fine. If I remember and I get access to some sort of elemental damage, I will come back and open that. It's an awful lot of fun spending time opening something like that, only to realize that it contains a weird noodle. That is a loot item in this game. No, it isn't, by the way. By the way, notice immediately as we gained that extra level, our experience gained for killing these Escape prisoners dropped from 26 to 15. And something that you will find, I like the fact that the game claims to have been balanced for normal difficulty. Well, something you will find is that an awful lot of enemies you are fighting, they are 4, 5, 6, 7 levels higher than you.
That's it for you. Take that.
The spells they have access to, of course, spell access in Dungeons and Dragons is every second. You get new spell ranks on odd levels. So you start with level 1 spells at level 1, get level 2 spells at level 3, level 3 spells at level 5, and so on and so on and so on. When you know the level of certain spells and you're fighting an enemy that casts spells which are level 5 or level 6, and you are level 7, 8, it feels a bit unfair. Yeah, unfair is a good word. I suppose you have to have a chance in order to be a hero, so both set of souls are now unlocked, so let's check the southern ones first, and then... no, I didn't mean to lock the door. Close the door, even. Again, the loot from the souls will be random. I'm fairly sure there's a prison guard in one of them as well. There's one item I'm hoping to find, but I'm not... there's no guarantee I will find it. And potions of cure serious wounds are not to be scoffed at, of course. Nothing. Shame. Nothing in the barrels? No. Come on. We'll just go this way through. If I'm not mistaken, there's quite a bit of a fight in here. There is, indeed. No, come on. Just try to be positioned so I choose how to engage. There's another gang leader in here, and I think gang leaders has been proven to be potentially quite dangerous. Of course it's locked. No, I don't want to emote to it. Come on, sort off you. Professing my love to a chest of drawers. A very romantic being. That redefines tree hugger to something else that rhymes with tree hugger but doesn't exactly mean tree hugger. But we're not going to say those kind of words here because I'm trying to keep the language somewhat clean. I don't have an issue with swearing. I think everyone swears at one point or another, but it doesn't add anything to... I mean, people can do what they want. It's not for me to judge other people, but personally I don't find it... My dad always claimed that people who tended to swear a lot had nothing better to say. So, you can agree or disagree with that. I thought there was a certain amount of reason behind those words. So it's a bit like when people are saying a lot, which I know I tend to do. Indeed, it's basically you're buying yourself half a second to think about what you're going to say next. That's what you're effectively doing. So, anyway, and I try to be ahead of myself constantly.
I'll carve you up.
I'm sure you will. There he is, gang leader. So yeah, don't necessarily want... Thank you. I want rid of him first. Come on. Thank you. Now we can see if we can knock him down. We'll probably resist it because he's... Oh, he got knocked down. Of course, because he's easier to hit, there's a good chance. He succeeded resisting the slowing attack, but... Are you having issues, mate?
Nobody walks away.
You can backstab me from the front, I'll kick you when you're on the ground, I don't care. Sorry? A belt? Can I identify it? No, I cannot. I could use the potion door. No, don't drop it. Use. Identify. Now we should have enough ranks to examine. Oh, Shafts of Shimmering. This gives you a spell resistance of 12, and I think in that regard the game can be relatively generous with these kind of items. The spell resistance, for those who may not know, is effectively armor class against spells. Once the spellcaster casts a spell at your character, they will have to do a roll to overcome your spell resistance in order for the spell to have any effect at all. Certain spells, of course, ignore magical resistance, feeling like lower resistance, which effectively lowers the magical resistance of a creature or character, will bypass spell resistance. It would be a bit silly that lowering the spell resistance could be resisted, because that is another of the strength of the monk. That will become inventory was difficult. Will become evident later on. But for the moment, I will happily take it. Any chance to resist the spell is better than not being able to resist the spell. You can probably also see that the loot is scaled to level at a certain point. Or to a certain point, so we're getting slightly better loot because of the slightly better level. But I will say by the time we are going for the third quest component for chapter 1, we are probably about where we would be. I think that's where the level would be caught up if you started as level 1, because of course you were given 2 free levels through the prelude. I can easily understand why some people would consider this to be cheesy, but it wasn't intentional. I just didn't necessarily want to waste the effort I'd already put into the character. And also, of course, as I was mentioning earlier, or previous part, whatever it was, casters like to have a benefit in the fact that they get a lot more experience while leveling up to, I think it's 7 actually. Something amazing about seeing the monk deflect arrows. Arrows is a relative term, by the way, any projectile. I'm not entirely sure how someone would go about deflecting a sling bullet in flight, but whatever, I'll take it. Not going to ask too many questions. If you ask questions, you risk getting answers, and sometimes you don't necessarily want the answers. So, come on, get him! He's got a crossbow bolt in his face and one in the back of his head. It doesn't look like he's doing too well. Talk about being a numbskull. He's got 2 arrows stuck in his head and he's 2 bolts even. That is an observation that is completely relevant to certain people, by the way, but I can't remember whether it's a limitation, restriction, removal thing. Scale mill, how much does that weigh? 30 pounds? Well, we can go back and sell it. We need the money. the normal ethos for clerics is that they don't want to draw blood. It's perfectly okay crushing someone's shoulder with a mace, that's perfectly okay, but drawing blood, no, we can't draw blood. Obviously, crossbow bolts will draw blood, so either there's a racial thing allowing for it, or they remove that restriction from clerics, or it's certain types of clerics who are not too concerned about drawing blood. But before we end this part, we are going to try and open this chest and see what happens. It might go successful. Another build. Is that... There's a good chance this is another bolt of shimmering. You know what, let's I mentioned something about the loot being random, so let's just showcase it. If that's another sash of shimmering, bolt of shimmering, whatever, I will allow myself to reload and just claim that it is for science. Yep, it is indeed. So, let us reload, because that's cheesy. Not because I want to game the system, because I could game the system on every single chest, but I have no intention of doing that, because it's bleh to do. Now we got some shurikens instead. These are the ones doing frost damage, you know what? Or cold damage, I should say. I would like to take those. I could game it. There's one specific item I really want, and I know it can spawn from these chests, so but I'm not going to do that. That is safe scumming beyond belief, and it is not a habit I want to get into, but I just want to showcase it at the same time. So, on that note, I think we can end this episode here, and when we come back, we are going to clear the rest of this floor and go down to the next floor. And with a bit of luck, maybe be able to squeeze out the completion of our first task in the next part. But as for now, thanks for watching, take care, see you next time, bye bye.